Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. I hope you're warm, dry, and cozy wherever you are. We had one major storm last night. It was rocking and rolling, and it's calmed down a bit today. So I hope everybody's safe and warm and dry. I got my cozies on. So, over the last course of the bunch of months, I've been talking a lot about the dating process. And I've also often talked about my own experiences and used myself as an example because I'm really committed to kind of taking you behind the scenes and helping you discover that dating is not just a means to an end. Of course, that's the point in the bigger picture, but it's also so important to enjoy ourselves along the way. So that's been kind of where I've set the bar for myself. How can I make this fun? How can I have a good time at this? How can I take the drag out of dating? But I also want to make sure that you all know that it hasn't all been rainbows and unicorns and ecstasy, that there's definitely been some things along the way that I would consider bumps or surprises or less than stellar moments, things that rattled me, things that took me by surprise, things that I wasn't going home from the date glowing about and calling my friends and going, oh my God, you won't believe what just happened. It was so amazing. That's been in the mix too. And so I want to talk a little bit about that so that you can kind of get a feel for, hey, sweetie, nice to see you. Thank you. You can kind of get a feel for it's not so much just about what happens, it's about how I've met what happens. And a lot of that has come down to just a decision that I've made that it's going to be fun and that whatever isn't fun, I'm going to just let roll off. So here's some of the things that I get some of the biggest complaints about and that I hear about often from my single clients. And that these are the kinds of things that make them want to just give up and stop. Okay, so here's a big one. Everybody does online dating today. That's just kind of like a given. So people will drop out of the conversation. You'll be in a conversation and, he'll be engaged and interested and then poof, no more conversation, right? So that's kind of disappointing. It's a little bit odd. If we imagine that in real life and I'm at a party and I'm having a conversation with somebody and then he literally just kind of walks away, that's not really good manners, right? So here's how I hold that. If he is showing up that way, he's telling me really important information about who he is and how he shows up relationally and his skill set and how he manages navigating relating, right? So I actually feel grateful that he's showing me that about himself early on rather than, putting on a facade and then I find out about that later on when maybe I'm more invested or I had more hope or something. So it's actually really good information. And as much as it might be disappointing in the moment, I really don't have that much investment with somebody who I've just had an online conversation with, right? Okay, so that's kind of number one. I feel the disappointment, but I just decide to feel appreciative and grateful for having that information, okay? So the other one is somebody will express a lot of interest and hi Charles, nice to see you, and a lot of enthusiasm. And then they just do what I guess in the vernacular is called ghosting. They just kind of like go from really all in to completely all out and disappeared. I've had that happen, I think, 2 different times with men that I actually went out on dates with and they, expressed a lot of interest. And then poof, like no more contact, no more interest. Again, that is really important information for me to know about who they are and how they show up, and especially around his lack of capability and capacity to just have a conversation with me. So again, it's disappointing. It's not what I'm used to. People that I surround myself with generally have a much higher skill set, much more capacity to engage. But I can't make that assumption that everybody has that. So again, how I care for myself along the way As I feel the feelings, I'm like, oh, that was really surprising. Wow, that was disappointing. God, that was actually a little bit shocking. And then I literally, it's like I just kind of brush it off. It's like I don't have Velcro for that. I don't want to internalize that, because if I do, I'm going to draw big conclusions and make some big assumptions. And those are the kinds of conclusions and assumptions that are going to derail the process and not have it be fun anymore. So what are the kinds of things I might conclude from that? Men are flakes. Men lack integrity. Men don't show up. Men are only interested in one thing, and if he's not getting that, he's not going to stick around, right? Those are all things that I could conclude, but none of them would want to have me stay in the game. So what I do instead is I just refrain from making broad stroke assumptions, and I don't make it mean anything about men in general, but I also don't make it mean anything about me. I don't take it on. I don't tell myself, oh, I guess I wasn't what he was looking for. Oh, I guess I'm not thin enough or sexy enough or beautiful or smart enough. No, none of those things are true. I know that I'm a catch. And that's the third thing, is that I don't make what happens mean anything about me. I don't make up stories about myself. That doesn't mean that I'm not open to learning and discovering and refining how I might show up, what it is that I'm calling in, what I'm inviting. But if I have one bad date or one guy flakes out, I don't make it mean that there's something wrong with me. The only place that I might do that is if I have like a series of things that feel kind of similar. Then I check in, I check my energy, I check in, am I actually really feeling like dating right now? Is something going on where I'm kind of distracted with something else, but I'm kind of going through the motions? I will take that information in, particularly if it happens in clusters. But if it's a one-off, I just don't make it mean that much. So I hope this is helpful. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in. It looks like I can see who's here today. I hope this is helpful in terms of just helping you see that, again, it's not that it's been just, this red carpet ride of perfection. There have been some really stellar moments and some things that I have really enjoyed and I'm still enjoying about the process. But I think overall, one of the main reasons that I've had stamina and interest and inclination is I've made a decision that it's going to be fun. And when something isn't fun, I don't make it mean too much. And that's kind of helped it stay sort of light. That's why I kind of call it a dating game. There is going to be a prize at some point, but along the way, the prize is that I'm having fun and I'm enjoying myself. And I'm meeting some really interesting men that I would never have met otherwise if it wasn't for dating and online dating in particular. So I hope this is helpful for you. If you are catching the replay, please introduce yourself. Maybe let me know where you're listening from. If you have a comment, a question, if you're hitting a bump or running up against an edge, or there's some way that dating is just really not fun for you, I'm happy to support you. A couple months ago, I launched a new program that's a 30-day program. It's called Dating 3.0, 30 Days to Great Dates. Those slots filled almost immediately. So I now have a waiting list because it does roll over fairly quickly. If you are in the dating world and you are not enjoying yourself, then I'd be happy to help you figure out how we can make it more fun for you. It's totally possible to have fun in the dating world. And I've had a lot of success with this program. So I would recommend that you shoot me a message, leave something in the comments, get in touch with me in a way that lets me know that you're interested and we can have a conversation. I'm actually taking names for people who are going to be interested in the next round, which will be coming up soon. And in the meantime, let me know something that you are enjoying about dating. If you are dating and you're enjoying it, what's one thing that you can like about it? Again, it's just a matter of where we point our attention. So any comments or questions, be sure to leave them in the replay. And in the meantime, I send you lots of love and have a love-filled day. Bye for now.